Universal Tool Calling Protocol is an alternative of Anthropic's Model Context Protocol. In this video, not only I am going to explain in very simple words what exactly this new framework is, how it differs from MCP, and we are going to do a hands-on demo locally after installing this UTCP on our system. But first, let's try to understand what exactly is this tool. The Universal Tool Calling Protocol, or UTCP, is a modern, flexible standard for defining and interacting with tools across various communication protocols. This tool is designed to enable models and applications to discover, connect to, and execute tools from different providers. This tool is built on simple pydantic models. UTCP supports multiple provider types including HTTP, WebSockets, CLI tools, gRPC, and various others. It also has got features like automatic Open API compatible conversion, multiple authentication methods, tool search capabilities through a Python client architecture. Now, if you don't know what Model Context Protocol is from Anthropic, just go to my channel and search with MCP and you should be able to see this first video, which is, I believe, is the easiest tutorial on Model Context Protocol. And this UTCP is positioning itself as an alternative to Anthropic's Model Context Protocol. While MCP emphasizes server-side state management and a heavy client-server architecture, UTCP takes a more lightweight, stateless approach focused purely on tool calling, without the additional complexity of resource management and bidirectional communication that MCP provides. I think that this is actually quite good for developers because if you have implemented any production grade complex MCP server, you know how tough it could become and how frustrating it could become to establish this bidirectional communication and more importantly, how to control it. All these OAuth setup challenges, documentation issues, I think sometimes MCP could really become difficult to implement and maintain, and that is where this community packed universal tool calling protocol is trying to help out. Now, before I get it installed and show you how it works, let me show you a quick comparison of this UTCP with MCP so that we understand it fully what we are going to implement. So for comparing both MCP and this UTCP, let's start with this core architecture. Here you can see that it shows the fundamental divide between UTCP's lightweight, stateless approach and MCP's heavy client-server model. UTCP treats each tool call as an independent function execution like REST APIs, eliminating the complexities of managing persistent connections and server state, whereas MCP's stateful approach provides richer context but introduces deployment complexity and scaling challenges that UTCP's stateless design avoids. If you look at this table, it shows you the UTCP's key advantage is its comprehensive protocol support and automatic OpenAI conversion that allows instant integration with existing REST APIs without customer wrapper code. It supports 10 plus protocols natively already, which means UTCP can integrate with virtually any infrastructure. MCP's limitation to primarily STD-IO and HTTP creates integration barriers and requires protocol-specific handling, while UTCP uses standard web debugging tools. For authentication and security, this actually exposes MCP's most criticized weakness. That is complex OAuth 2 dynamic client registration that frustrates developers. UTCP's multi-method authentication with automatic token management significantly lowers barriers that allow simple API keys for development and seamless OAuth 2 upgrades for production. MCP's manual token management and deep OAuth 2 knowledge requirement often lead to implementation failures. Now, UTCP addresses real-world scaling challenges with built-in semantic search for large toolsets and stateless architecture that eliminates memory overhead from concurrent users. So there are a lot of issues where I have seen personally in the real world about MCP server lagging that really suggests that state management creates some of the performance bottlenecks, whereas UTCP is designed and optimized for hundreds thousands of tools, which makes it more suitable for enterprise environment where MCP state management becomes quite limiting. UTCP leverage familiar web technologies and provides clear documentation that reduces onboarding time and skill requirement. A simple JSON configuration is all you need most of the time, and so you don't really have to learn any specialized SDK knowledge. Now, this is where you can see that Anthropic is, after all, a corporate, right? So that backs MCP among other corporates too, but it is mainly driven by Anthropic. Whereas this new UTCP is all community driven. UTCP also allows more responsive development based on developers' need, and it has already generated rapid community enthusiasm, but very new. Whether it will survive or flourish, time will tell. If you look at advanced features, UTCP is still evolving. MCP provides sophisticated features like bidirectional communication and virtual file system for advanced use cases, but with implementation complexity, many find it unnecessary. Whereas UTCP follows a Yagni philosophy, providing core functionality for 80% of use cases while avoiding complexity overhead. Now, now we know what exactly is UTCP is and how it differs from MCP. Let's now see a real world example. Okay, so first let me take you to my terminal where I have this Ubuntu system. Let me create a virtual environment with Conda, but let's first git clone the repo, which I will be dropping the link in video's description. Next up, let's create a virtual environment with Conda. And if you're looking to rent a GPU or VM or CPU on very affordable prices, you can find the link to Max Compute in video's description with a discount coupon code of 50% for range of GPUs. And now let's install some of the requirements first. And while that happens, let me also introduce you to the sponsors of the video. Camel is an open source community focused on building multi-agent infrastructures for finding the scaling laws with applications in data generation, task automation, and world simulation. Requirements are done. Next, you need to build it from the root of the repo, something like this. And that is also done. It is a very quick process, as you can see, just a few seconds. And now you can install the actual UTCP with something like pip install. And if you are watching this video maybe a few days back or after some time, make sure that you replace this 1.0.0 with the latest version, because I'm just installing it as this project has been released in July 2025. So let me run this. And that is also done. Also, I had to change the version to this 0.1.2 because now that is the one which is available. These are the breaking changes we have to make, and things are changing very quickly. Okay, so that is what we needed to do in order to install this. Hopefully they are going to make the installation easier, because at the moment I think it is quite complicated if you compare it to MCP. For the hands-on example, I'm going to start with a simple hello world example so that you would understand how exactly this works. For that, I'm going to use OpenAI's model, and I'm setting this OpenAI's API key in my terminal. So let me get it set. I have set my key in my environment. Now look at this code, which is the simplest possible code that shows you UTCP. So it imports all the stuff which we have declared and installed, and then it is creating a simple greet tool that takes a name and then returns a greeting. That's all it is doing. It is also asking OpenAI's model to decide if it needs the tool. So primarily user will ask it in the natural language prompt, and the model is going to convert it into function call, and then will decide if it needs a tool or not. It also does a tool execution and then gets the final response. This is where user is asking and returning it to the user back. It's a very simple Python code, and you can see it is quite modular and quite straightforward. You really don't have to go into a lot of rigid details here. Okay, let me run this. So I'm running it. You can see that it has done the greeting, and this is a UTCP client. It found one tool, and then it asked open API and get the final answer and return us the result back. Okay, that's good. Let's check out a bit more complicated example. And now look at this second example, and especially from the perspective as how it is different from MCP. So this code is showing that a lightweight stateless tool calling system that directly integrates with external APIs through simple JSON configuration without requiring complex server infrastructure. So if I scroll down after importing the libraries, it is creating two tools. One for fetching user data from JSON placeholder and another for HTTP testing via HTTP bin by defining their endpoints, parameters, and expected responses in a declarative JSON format. When a user selects an option from the numbered menu, which I will show you shortly, let me actually show you as I speak. So when I run it, so this is a numbered menu. For example, if I say 1 here and then I say maybe 3, there you go. So it is just returning from an actual API a fictitious user data in JSON format. Now going back to the code, so you see this approach is fundamentally different from MCP because UTCP eliminates the need for persistent server-side state management, complex authentication flows, and bidirectional communication protocol. Instead, it is treating each tool call as an independent HTTP request, similar to how REST API work. While MCP requires setting up dedicated MCP server, managing client server connection, and handling complex OAuth 2 authentication that often frustrates the developer. UTCP, you can see that simply is pointing to an existing API and calls them directly through standard HTTP protocol. So this is a stateless design, which means there is no server to maintain, no persistent connections to manage, and no complex debugging of protocol specific communication. Just straightforward API calls that can be easily monitored with standard web debugging tool. So that is why I think that for most of the use cases, this could be more than enough. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be covering it more. Let's see how this project evolves. It's very new. I will drop the link to it in video's description. Please like the video and share it among your network. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so as it helps. Thank you.